Darkness creeps in, shadows whisper secrets. Are you ready to face your fears? It was a chilly October evening in Canada, and Emily had just wrapped up a long day at work. She was exhausted but looking forward to the peaceful drive home. The roads were empty, save for the occasional passing car, and the setting sun cast an eerie glow over the forest-lined highway. Emily had taken this route countless times, but tonight felt different. The air was thicker, as if the world was holding its breath. She turned on the radio, trying to drown out the growing unease in her chest, but all she could hear was static. The station seemed to be malfunctioning, which only added to the tension in the car. "It's just the weather," she told herself, pushing away the unsettling feeling creeping over her. The storm that was forecasted earlier in the day had finally arrived. As she continued down the winding road, the headlights flickered once. Emily frowned but didn't think much of it. However, the second time it happened, she slammed her foot on the brake, the car jerking slightly to a halt. The headlights went out completely. Her heart pounded as she sat in the darkness. She tried the engine again, her hands shaking as she turned the key. The engine sputtered to life, but the headlights refused to come on. "Come on," Emily muttered, trying to steady her breathing. She could see the outlines of trees surrounding the road, their gnarled branches reaching out like twisted fingers. The air seemed to grow colder. Then, from the corner of her eye, she saw something. A figure, a woman in white standing just at the edge of the road. Emily's breath hitched. She wasn't sure if it was a trick of the light or something more sinister. The woman's face was pale, her long hair flowing in the wind, though there was no wind. Her eyes, black as night, locked onto Emily's. Frozen with fear, Emily tried to start the car again, but this time the engine wouldn't even turn over. The woman began to move toward the car, her steps silent, but Emily could hear the soft rustling of her dress dragging on the asphalt. The air felt thick, like something was pressing down on her chest. In a panic, Emily reached for her phone to call for help, but the screen was completely black. Not a single signal came through. She was trapped, alone, and the woman in white was getting closer. Suddenly, a loud bang echoed in the distance, causing Emily to jump. The woman stopped in her tracks. She tilted her head, and for a brief moment, Emily thought she saw something flicker in her eyes, something otherworldly, something ancient. A voice, low and chilling, whispered through the quiet night, "Turn back, or join me." The car suddenly jerked forward as if an unseen force had shoved it. Emily slammed her foot on the accelerator, the engine roaring to life as the headlights flickered back on. But when she looked in her rearview mirror, the woman was gone. Emily didn't slow down. She sped down the road, heart racing, not daring to look back. Every turn seemed to be longer, every shadow darker, and the trees felt like they were closing in around her. The storm had grown violent, rain pounding on the windshield, yet she couldn't shake the feeling that someone was following her. The night felt endless, but eventually the road began to clear. The trees gave way to open fields, and the sky above started to lighten with the first hints of dawn. Emily's hands were still trembling as she drove, but the weight on her chest began to ease. As she entered the town, she took a deep breath, thinking that it was all over. That is, until she saw the sign on the side of the road. "Beware of the haunted road ahead." Her blood ran cold. Emily quickly pulled into a nearby gas station. The image of the woman's black eyes burned into her mind. She rushed inside, hoping to escape the memories of the night. The gas station clerk, an older man, gave her a knowing look when she walked in. "You've seen her, haven't you?" he asked. 2:49 a.m., 24th of November, 2024. Heba. "Who?" Emily asked, her voice shaking. "The ghost of Highway 61. She appears to travelers who get too close to the road after dark," he said with a grim expression. "They say she's searching for someone to join her, forever." Emily swallowed hard, realizing she had barely escaped with her life. The road was haunted, and those who drove it at night were never quite the same afterward. As she sat down to collect her thoughts, Emily knew one thing for certain. She would never, ever take that road again.